What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with RK Outpost, and I gotta admit, it feels pretty good for, again, the second time this week for the media to have been seemingly completely wrong and misinformed and not done their research, but for me to have been vindicated a little bit. And you can see this headline, exclusive, Obi-Wan Disney Plus series on hold as crew sent home. Now, a lot of this may sound familiar to something we talked about last week, where all of a sudden people were talking about the Kenobi series being canceled. And then a couple hours later, you have every single one of these articles coming out and say, no, the Kenobi series isn't canceled. This was a parody. And of course, what they're talking about is a tweet. And I'll go ahead and overlay it on the screen. I won't actually pull it up right here, but you can see this tweet was from a parody account saying that Star Wars Kenobi was canceled. But this was days before this rumor actually broke. And if you actually did any digging and looked into it, you will see that numerous people in the entertainment business were talking about this Obi-Wan series potentially having problems and potentially being up in the air. It was not based on this tweet. What happened was, like everybody else, these journalists went to Twitter and they searched Kenobi canceled, and the first thing they came up was this parody tweet. So like, oh, that's where this rumor is coming from. No, this was a coincidence. There's nearly no doubt in my mind that this was a coincidence. And there's actually some problems. And I talked about this just a couple days ago in this video, how if they would have actually done their research, they would have realized that tweet came out days before, but people didn't start talking about it till a couple days after, when actual insiders started hearing rumors about trouble behind the scenes of Kenobi. But no, they decided to blame it all on a parody tweet. Now we see this here, this exclusive from Collider. IGN is also reporting it now. Obi-Wan Kenobi Plus show reportedly on hold, crew dismissed, on hold indefinitely. Now, while that is not canceled, there's no doubt that there are problems behind the scenes, just like we talked about it. And funny enough, this is that parody account discussing film misspelled, but they find it pretty funny because this is the side-by-side of their post on January 15th, their fake parody tweet, which, like I said, that's what this is. It wasn't some manufactured thing to distract, right? That's not what this tweet was. They posted a bunch of just stupid rumors to get people to click on it for trolling. And this is the actual discussing film 8 days later. So pretty funny. They even used the same picture. That can't have been a coincidence. I can't imagine. Somebody was probably having fun there. But let's read a little bit about this Obi-Wan Kenobi show on hold and see what all the buzz is about now that people are finally catching on that there are things going on behind the scenes. The Obi-Wan Kenobi Disney Plus series is reportedly on hold following news that Lucasfilm president and Obi-Wan producer Kathleen Kennedy was not happy with the current scripts. As reported by Collider, the show has been canceled, but the crew that had been assembled at Pinewood Studios in London was sent home and told the Obi-Wan show would be down, quote, indefinitely. As for the scripts, Collider sources stated that what will most likely happen next is the scripts will be reworked with the hopeful goal of reassembling this summer, but there's always the possibility that time frame could shift. Now, THR reports only 2 scripts were written so far, and the story became an issue. That entire package has been jettisoned. They are also searching for a new writer, and the original plan of 6 episodes may be reconfigured to 4. Could you imagine 4 episodes of this series on Disney Plus? Now, it's funny to me that they say this about the scripts, because on a live stream with Jeremy, someone reminded us of this, and Gary from Nerdrotic, shout out to Gary and Jeremy, my 2 internet dads. Thank you guys for conceiving me. But he reminded us of this. This headline, Obi-Wan scripts are finished at Disney Plus, filming to begin in 2020. And you can read it right here. McGregor and Star Wars boss Kathleen Kennedy announced at D23 that all the scripts for the first batch of Obi-Wan episodes are already finished, and that the series is set to begin shooting once the calendar flips. Now, do they mean only 2 had been completed? What exactly did they mean by that? They said the scripts were done. That's what they said. And now, months and months later, 6 months later, you decide the scripts aren't good enough and they need to be completely rewritten? Is it the case that you jumped the gun at D23 because you wanted people to get excited for Disney Plus? You needed your subscriptions to Disney Plus. I don't know if they thought The Mandalorian would be quite as big as it actually was. So maybe that's what they were doing. They wanted to bring Ewan McGregor in, announce this Kenobi series, get people to sign up for Disney Plus because you know Kenobi's gonna be on there. But pretty pretty embarrassing to say the least. But let's continue on. One further source, they don't name this source, so very much a rumor here, claims the current Kenobi story was too similar to The Mandalorians, as Obi-Wan helping guide a young Luke or Leia would too closely mirror the tale of Mandalorian and Baby Yoda. It is set to star Ewan McGregor. It's hardly the first Star Wars film to have rocky steps. Rogue One went through many rewrites, and we know the story about Solo, a Star Wars story, and of course, Episode 9, Duel of the Fates, The Rise of Skywalker, whatever it may be. And they just go along, talk a little bit about Deborah Chow, who is supposed to be the director. A lot of people were excited to see her as a director. And Hossein Amini was previously attached as a writer. Probably not any longer. But wow. Pretty mind-blowing. Pretty mind-blowing. And I gotta give a shout-out to Grace Randolph, who on January 20th put this out there. Hashtag Obi-Wan. Reason people think show might be canceled is crew was put on indefinite hold, all looking for other work. Wow, 3 days before this broke. Costume designer who was just hired wasn't. Old news, but it was released perhaps to thwart cancellation talk. Star Wars certainly doesn't need more drama. So shout out to Grace. She was one of the people, like myself, who came out and said that there are definitely rumblings behind the scenes. It's not all based on some parody tweet. And again, for the second time this week, I'm sitting here and I am talking about the media and how they don't know what they're doing, right? They don't do their due diligence. They're basically just searching Twitter. That's what all I think a lot of them are doing on some of these websites, be it like Screen Rant, CBR, Comic Book News, whatever it may be. And then once one of them starts writing it, all of them start writing the same thing. And I understand that you want to be on top of a trend, you want to get clicks, and I get that. But all they need to do is a little bit of research. Same thing with the Colin Trevorrow thing I talked about earlier this week. All you have to do is a little research, and you'll uncover what you need. Same thing with the Tor Valum, with the Oracle from the Jedi Practice Links that I talked about in my video earlier this week. Same thing happened with Obi-Wan. And I'm glad I was vindicated. Candace from Geeks and Gamers also was on top of this from the start. We both kind of were looking at things right as it was breaking. So we knew that it wasn't based off this stupid parody tweet. But very interesting. As far as what I think will happen going forward, I do think that the series will eventually go on. I can't imagine a world where Lucasfilm lets this fall apart. It's too important for what they have going forward. With a gap right now in big Star Wars events, they need Kenobi. They need Ewan McGregor. They need the legacy of that character. I don't personally need it or want it. I said it a million times. I have my story. I have Kenobi from John Jackson Miller, an excellent book that takes place between episode 3 and episode 4 and tells a fantastic story. That's the expanded universe. That's better than what Disney is putting out, for sure. So if you haven't tried it, you should try it. But I ultimately think it will happen. It's going to be severely delayed based on what everyone's saying. Now, Disney Lucasfilm has not come out and confirmed this yet. However, I definitely think that with so many sources finally coming out of the woodwork to tell us what a lot of us had knew all this time, that there is trouble behind the scenes, trouble in production of Kenobi, that it's going to see a delay. How long? I don't know. But I want to know you guys' thoughts again on the garbage tier media, not able to do just some basic research. And people talked about when we covered it that we were talking about fake news and rumors and all that stuff. When in reality, it was the media that fell for the fake news, that it was this parody account, this innocent coincidence that you all thought was real because just like everyone else, all you did was went to Twitter and you searched Kenobi canceled. Bottom line. But let me know what you think in the comments below about the Kenobi series being put on indefinite hold, about all the problems surrounding it. How is Kathleen Kennedy still there? They need to get rid of her. They need to get rid of her and get someone else in there who can take charge of the next path forward, this new project from Star Wars that we keep hearing about. Do we really want it to get started with Kathleen Kennedy in charge? Kenobi, do we really want to get it started in production with Kathleen Kennedy in charge? I don't think so. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching, everyone. And a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.